Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead tarot. Your key to the week this week is the Fool card. New things, new places, new people, new energies in all areas of life this week, right? The other thing with the Fool card this week, I will say to you, this might be a week where you're having to approach things from very different angles to what you usually would. Now, as a Gemini, you tend to be quite multifaceted anyway, more so than most people. You're probably going to find though, and this is the same for everyone, you know, you tend to, everyone's got like little things that they kind of keep the same in all areas. This week, that's not going to cut it. You're having to do something completely different, out of the box, in a new way, in a new direction. You're going to have to maybe even turn things on their head to do them differently. In some way, shape or form, it does suggest that this week you're having to turn your reality on its head. Before we start, your November 2022 Taroscopes are up and out there for your viewing pleasure. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and options this week, you have the Justice card, right? So this is you. This is a new commitment that's coming in, right? This is, yes, maybe it could be a new contract, but it is a new commitment. In some way, shape or form, this is you really kind of looking at something and saying, okay, I think this is going to require a different version of me. I think this is going to require a different type of commitment from me. In some way, shape or form, I do kind of feel like this might show up very much out of the blue. And what tends to happen with the Fool card, it's like, it tends to present us with things that we haven't experienced before. So it's like you've got nothing in the wheelhouse for this. You've got no prior experience in this thing, this place, this type of person, this type of connection. So you just have to kind of go with it as you can, right? Now you're a mutable sign, you're the mutable air sign, which to me is kind of like the epitome of air, right? What this really says to me is, this could be a new commitment, a new partner, a new contract. It could be maybe not so much an offer, but whatever it is that shows up for you, it's almost like you've got nothing in the memory banks for this. So you just have to meet it head on. Now this is about what you're doing, what you're choosing to do. So you are committing to something, but I feel like you're doing this either in a very new way or choosing to do it in a way that just it's like you might feel like you're winging it, but you're not, right? It's like you're doing it, and it's like, this is gonna have to do because I don't really, yeah, do you know what I mean? I've got nothing else to go from. There's no script for this. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Chariot card. Okay, so you're finding other resources, potentially resources, connections from the outside world, maybe for some of you from overseas. This could be that you're connecting with or to other people from different places, different backgrounds. For those of you that do international business anyway, a contract from, through, or with the Middle East could come in here for you in some way, shape or form. Your Saudi Arabia, Dubai, you know, like all of those kinds of places, like in some way, shape or form, these could feature for you. Now, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, it's quite possible here that you could be thinking about ways to, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's like, you know, when you study abroad or you learn abroad, maybe some of you are thinking about that. Maybe you're thinking about what you're going to do with your gap year, if you have one. Maybe you're planning to take time off of your studies in order to grow more on that experiential level, which I think for a lot of you might benefit you at this time. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, it's either that you're working out of the office this week or an opportunity for a job that you really have wanted or something that you really covet within the company. It comes up, but you realize if I'm going to take this, I'm probably going to have to move. I'm probably going to have to go to a different location. So it's like you can stay within the company, but you realize that there is going to be some change and it might be a change of location. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this could quite literally be new connections coming in from overseas. It could be that you're gaining knowledge, wisdom, or insight from people overseas, maybe through networking, but it's likely to present you with an opportunity that it's almost like you can't pass it up, but at the same time you're like, I I know I don't want to say no, but I don't really know what to do with it. And then finally, because, you know, why not? And then for those of you that are retired and no longer working, I wouldn't be surprised if you're looking for work. I wouldn't be surprised if you find it this week. If you're out of work and you're retired or not working for any other reason, it looks like you'll be returning to work this week by choice, not necessarily, like maybe not by by necessity. For your love and relations, you've got the King of Cups. So the King of Cups with the Chariot card is a Cancerian male. So King of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Chariot card, Cancer ruled. This is a Cancer male. So for those of you that are single, you could be meeting a Cancerian, interacting with a water sign in some regard. This person may very well end up being a part of your future in ways that you can't yet anticipate. I wouldn't be surprised about this, especially if this person is from another background, a foreign place or a foreign culture of some kind. This is likely to be somebody that you don't know as well. So whoever they are, you may meet them on your travels or through your work. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this is a really, really deep heart-to-heart that sparks really good conversation and also takes your both of your ideas and your ideals further out into the world, but it deepens the bond in some way. The King of Cups is a beautiful card for relationships because it means that the emotional intelligence and depth is actually working. There's also a really strong connection between you and your significant other, and plans to travel, plans to go elsewhere, plans to see other things, places, spaces, and or people. For your money and materials, you've got the Devil card. So the one thing that I have observed with Gemini is when it comes to money, you guys can, at times, not always, most of the time, you know, you're really good, but at times you can be a little bit frivolous. And it's kind of like, well, you know, I was having the best time, and so, yeah, I just kind of spent the money and I didn't really think about it. This could be one of those weeks where it kind of, you know, almost runs away with itself. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means, you know, and especially if it's because you're meeting new people, you're connecting to new places, spaces, etc. I wonder if this is a part of it. So, you know, it will be money well spent, especially if it's money spent on travel or things that you're doing to interact with the international community in some way. It's just, you're going to feel this at some point, all right? Maybe not this week, but you will feel it. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this would be a really good week to get a handle on your vices, if you have any, whatever they are: drugs, sex, rock and roll, booze, weed, whatever your vices are. This week they do have the potential to be slightly amplified. However, with the Fool card here and the Justice card, you could be getting an insight into why this particular vice or device, actually, because that's what all of our vices are, they're devices for coping. You might actually realize, okay, yeah, so, you know, when I'm stressed or I'm tired, I reach for this. Or, you know, when I am happy and things are really going well or things are exciting, I need to prolong that feeling, and so I turn to this thing. So this could be a really powerful week of insight in that regard. And then finally, when it comes to the home and the environment, the Devil card's iffy for home, because it kind of, even though there's so much going on out in the world that seems to be pulling you into it, there seems to be you stuck at home in some way, which is kind of like a really weird juxtaposition, and I'm intrigued by this. So maybe your plans for world domination are happening from the kitchen table, which, hey, listen, you wouldn't be the first to do it and you won't be the last. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes out. Take care, and I'll see you soon.